Every now and then you have a show that's at the right place, the right time. And Onimai episode 8 was at the right place at the right time. Now, some people might be wondering, Andrew, where the heck was your Onimai episode 8 impressions? Because I've been pretty much covering the show on a weekly basis, and so to not have one was, I guess, a shock to some people. But no, call it the clickbait for this entire episode is the episode that saved my life. I literally felt like I was going to die Thursday when the episode aired, and I just had no energy whatsoever to record my impressions on it because I was just getting over a really, really bad case of illness. And what was great, though, in that day was that I had Onimai. I turned on the episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just full of just nothing but absolute fluff. Nothing to really kind of deep dive into. Just a lot of fun, a lot of goofiness, and yes, this is exactly what I needed at that time. I needed fluffy, I needed cute, I needed just pure heart, and the show gave it to me. But no, it was a fantastic episode. Episode 8 was fantastic. I will say, yes, Andrew Detective Agency, nothing censored. Now, it is technically censored because any part in the episode that had anything inappropriate was just massive amounts of fog. So that technically is censored, but I didn't notice any actual shots that were skipped, which was quite surprising because this episode had more than any other episode. I mean, we had Mio come like this whole thing, and that was censored before. Again, the censorship doesn't make any sense. It's never made any sense. I just think they do it just, I don't know, maybe they just do it for the laws. I don't know. Any rate, it was all there, but again, just a lot of fog. But now, overall, the episode, fantastic. Opening up, obvious, with Mahiro kind of going back into his usual routine of being a NEET, and Mihari, as per usual, seeing this is a bad thing and I need to fix it. Winter break is coming up, or is here, and she doesn't want her to just kind of get stuck in his own ways. So she decides to contact Kaede. It was kind of odd because she contacted Kaede to see if Momiji, Asahi, and Mio could come over. So I guess she just kind of figures that Momiji will rope them in. But yes, they all show up. And I get a kick out of this because it seems like every single time they all show up, Mahiro goes into his, like, neatdom. And I guess that was technically to Mihari's point. I don't want him to go back to his old ways. And yes, technically he goes back to his old ways. When he's in his house, it's like his safety zone. Like, I need to be here and nobody else needs to be here. Nobody bother me. This is my safety zone. Only my sister's allowed here. So when Momiji and everybody shows up, he just starts freaking out again. Like, oh no, it's an attack. What are they doing here? It's just so goofy. But no, I got a kick out of it because throughout the episode, it has like these little insert points where Mihari gets her dues. Because it's obviously for the majority of this series, it's Mihari forcing something upon Mahiro. You're going to get out more. You're going to become a girl, technically. You're going to get out more. You're going to meet people. You're going to have a life. You're not going to just get stuck in your room for the rest of your life. You're not going to be a Rudius. But what I get a kick out of it, the entire episode, you have like 2 points in it in which it backfires on Mihari. And I knew one of them based on flipping through the manga. I knew that eventually Mahiro was going to jump into the bath with Mihari. I didn't know that we are going to have the point at the end. So like at 2 points in it, it's like, well, it's your fault, so I'm here. And he just, the bath scene was the best because it's like everybody going, okay, who's going to group with who? Obviously, Mio is getting all excited, as per usual. Momiji and Asahi are fighting over Mahiro. But then he goes, no, I have another option. And he just goes in with his sister. And I like the fact that he just so confidently just flings open the door. Like, not a single bit of hesitation. Slams open the door. She's like, what the heck? He just kind of strolls in, pours over his back, and then jumps in the tub. This whole scene was hilarious. And he just sits there. He just sits there like a dog looking over the side of your bed when you're sleeping, just staring at her like, oh, well, you've gotten bigger. I just got a huge kick out of the stare. The pause and the stare was just absolutely priceless. But yeah, Mihari's expression obviously was the key thing in this entire episode. Mihari's expressions were like gold to me. She's just absolutely flustered. She can't take the fact that he's staring at her. It throws in a quick little cute jab in there, the idea of how nostalgic this whole event is. The idea of, well, you've gotten bigger. Oh, that's sexual harassment. No, what I mean is that we haven't done this in a long time. It's nostalgic. This is something that he kind of misses that they used to be able to do. So she jumps in with him. So it was really cute. But like I said, and then at the very end, after everything happens with Momiji, he just kind of just strolls right into her bedroom. Don't ask any questions. Just jumps in the bed. I just get a huge kick out of it. Again, it's technically keeps hinting on this idea that Miyahari, I don't know, it seems like it's pushing more and more into the realms of the bro-con, cis-con thing with Mihari. It seems like, especially like the last episode, it sort of has that, yes, the cutesiness of reestablishing bonds with your sibling, somebody that you looked up to, but it's sort of starting to slowly kind of hint, or at least bait, the idea of her being somewhat attracted to him and somehow. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do with that, but for now, I'm keeping it in the realms of wholesome. I know that some people want to push it out of the realm, and I've seen stuff, but people will be people with that stuff. Rule 34 will be Rule 34. And I like when they were playing pillow fights and the sister busts in and says, keep quiet. It's like she has to get onto the kids. But yes, super cute. Everything around Mihari was super cute. But yeah, the rest of the gang, I loved. As usual, I love Asahi. She's got her cute little dragon pajamas, or her dinosaur pajamas were super cute. I think that the interesting thing that kind of came of this whole situation is obviously when they first get there and they have some fun, and then you have this whole situation where they're trying to figure out what to bath with, and it ends up being Momiji, Asahi, and Mio. And you obviously have that earlier segment where it's a lot about Mio being uncomfortable being around the rest of them. And it's so interesting because it starts to make me really wonder what Mio's insecurity is. She's obviously likes to be a watcher. She doesn't want to be the center of attention, and having this makes her the center of attention no matter how you cut it. But it almost makes it out as if she doesn't want them to know. And I don't know if that's like an aspect of she doesn't want them to know because she doesn't want to, again, create that attention, or if it's more of the fact that she doesn't want to show people how small they are. It sort of, again, it's probably me thinking way too much into it, but it almost makes me feel like she is not liking the idea that she makes Asahi feel so insignificant. Doesn't want to make Momiji feel insignificant. So when she's trying to hide it and then Asahi goes in, it's like, crap, now she knows. And now Asahi's over there like, I didn't want to know that kind of thing. But no, the backstory stuff was super, poor Momiji. And it's so funny because the first time I watched it, because I actually watched this twice, because again, I was stuck in bed, I was half dead, and I just wanted to keep watching it to make me feel happy. The first thing that I got out of the Momiji and Asahi backstory was, yes, the whole back knot thing, them hanging out together, having fun together, doing sports together, going back home, and then getting cleaned up, and immediately she's like, well, let's go in together. Well, sure, that's fine. She's like, you don't mind that? She's like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I used to go with my brother all the time. And it's like, it didn't dawn on me at that point, but she looks over to Momiji and says, so when is it going to grow out? And for some reason, I just thought it was her thinking that everybody eventually has this thing appear between their legs. Not that she thought that Momiji was a boy. Because my mindset immediately goes to, okay, well, she's always bathing with the boy, so she assumes that everybody's going to have one grow eventually. But no, it was literally just that she thought Momiji was a boy. So it was like, okay, so it wasn't crazy Asahi's broken. Because we've established quite a few times that Asahi is the most immature out of all of them. It was kind of established a long time ago with this idea that she obviously hasn't had that time of the month. She's not to that point yet. And it's kind of establishing here that she knows less about the structure of a human being, boys and girls, than everybody else. She is too pure and must be protected from all corruption. Asahi is too pure. I just want to hug her to death. But yeah, the pillow fight at the end was super good too. I like how they kind of gave a brief shot of it at the very beginning of this idea of like, Mahiro's like, what is happening here? Why did it result to this? Everybody's just chucking pillows. It's just super dorky. And then yes, the final scene, they had a little bit of girl talk. It ended up turning into ghost stories, but then yes, it kind of had this whole segment where they're all sleeping, and yes, Mahiro loses his comforter, and I don't know what he was going to do to Momiji. He said something to the effect of like, I had this last option or something like that. I don't know if he was going to ask Momiji if he could share with her or if he just wanted to get around. But yeah, Momiji still being terrified of this pillow flipper. I love how they kind of tied that back in. Asahi always believes that there's this pillow flipper that throws her around all night. And so obviously the reason why she's been not the fact that she's been twisting and turning all night, it's just that the pillow flipper flips her around. But yes, the pillow flipper scares Momiji and loses it, and Mahito covers it up for her, which is super cute. Again, another callback to everything with Kaede and how Kaede covered up things for Mahito. Now Mahito is kind of covering up everything for Momiji, which he kind of blames himself, so it works in the end. It's super cute. I did like the back grab though. That was very interesting. I think the interesting thing is that while like the pillow fight and everything was super well animated and the expressions were perfect, again, technically like Mio getting grabbed, that goofiness, Mihari expressions all day. There was a couple shots in this episode that were really kind of rough. And I don't know if anybody else noticed amongst all the really great animation, especially the pillow fight. There was some shots that were like, God, we're just going to like sliding stills right now. What are we doing? So I don't know if it was maybe because I'm hoping this doesn't mean that they're finally catching up to what they've produced so far. Because again, what I've heard is that they've been producing this all last year. So I'm hoping that we're not seeing signs that they're catching up production with the schedule. But there was a couple. My assumption is that there was just so many really high animation cuts this episode. They kind of cut corners here and there in between them because they figure, hey, you're getting this great animation. We're not going to do it the entire episode. So hoping that this isn't a sign of something bad. But yeah, I just have to admit that there was a couple shots that was like, that's it's a little weird. And also like a lot of the art style changes in a lot of the shots. So I'm just going to ignore that. But anyways, that's my thoughts on episode 8 of Onimai. Thank you for patiently waiting for it. But hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you did, hit that like button down below, comment. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button so you get my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, tips link, and a super thanks button down below. Also a membership button. I greatly appreciate it. Support the channel, and y'all take care.